Someone's coming down your chimney this season, but it's not who you think. Here's your Christmas spot on the MEGO Toys Krampus 8-inch action figure. Krampus joins the MEGO lineup. This 8-inch tall action figure features 26 points of articulation and a real cloth outfit, stuffing naughty children in his sack since the 12th century. Before we get a closer look at the MEGO Krampus 8-inch action figure, let's take the tape measure. Even though I pretty much already told you how tall the figure stands, I always like to really just double check things. So we're going to grab, of course, the tape measure as promised. We're going to take right to the very top horns of the Krampus here. Sure enough, it is correct. The figure is going to stand at 8 inches in height, or the shadow of Santa Claus stands 20 centimeters tall. With the way that his holiday was getting ruined, it's probably a good thing that Clark Griswold didn't know anything about the Krampus. Yet here's what the figure looks like along with Clark Griswold from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Both are 8-inch tall figures, so roughly they're going to be about the same size to one another. He's also going to be the same size as also the earlier looked at Holiday Creep from Creepshow. The origins of the Krampus were that back in the 12th century in Germany, in the early days of December, kids would be told the tale of a creature that would roam the streets, swatting naughty children with birch sticks. Unfortunately, though, for the naughty kids now, this Krampus doesn't come included with any birch sticks at all. For that matter, he doesn't include any accessories other than really just the Santa's jacket that he's currently wearing. The jacket, I will say, is one of the things I really do like about this figure. It looks like it's only done up by just the belt alone. The Christmas belt, as you can see, not necessarily it's a Christmas belt, but on the back of it, though, it actually just is attached by Velcro. That once you undo this, I think for all intents and purposes, you'll be able to take the jacket off completely. The jacket is one thing, again, I really do like about this. There's a little bit of like glue crustiness in some of the areas of the jacket. More so you see it down below here on the furry trim. I don't know why. It's probably just the way that they attached it onto it, but you can feel like it's just, there's a little bit of just like glue residue left behind. But I think, though, once you took off the belt, you'd be able to really slide the jacket off completely. And you may be able to put it on to like another figure, for example. I was kind of looking at Clark Griswold, and I was thinking, like, I wonder if I'd be able to take this off and put it on Clark instead. One thing, though, is I think the material that they've done for the jacket is really nice. Kind of feels like, I don't know, like a crushed velvet. The color looks really good, too. If you were to, say, take the jacket off, what you'd be seeing underneath is a finished flocked body for the Krampus. It does seem like it's flocked everywhere. Flock basically means that they run an electrical current through whatever it is they want to fling the flock to. And with that electrical current in place, the flock then sticks to whatever surface they want to use. So underneath all this, you basically be getting a furry body of the Krampus. And it seems to be as well, like if you move the sleeves out of the way, they've got flocking everywhere. I think it's pretty much finished everywhere that you would imagine. And in some of the places you probably want to be hiding as well with the jacket. So I like the flocking on the body. I love the jacket that they've given the Krampus. And I think as well, like his face is really cool as well. Don't be expecting like a mask of Santa Claus this time around. This is like the origin, the early days of Krampus. So you sort of get more of like a demon here. Purple skin, long pointed ears, horns jetting out the top of his forehead, and a big long tongue. I think the coloring around his eyes also help as well, just to help bring those red eyes to the forefront, just the pop. It's a really neat looking head sculpt. It obviously doesn't match the coloring to the rest of his body. I don't think it's supposed to either. Although some images of early Krampus sort of depict more of, again, a demon creature. It looks very much similar to this, where I guess maybe the color would match the rest of his body. I have, unfortunately, one problem for this figure, and I don't think I was naughty and need to be punished, but unfortunately, though, while getting this guy out of the packaging, I went to try to move his limbs around, and I snapped this knee right here. It was overly tight. Sure enough, though, this knee bends fine, but it doesn't bend all that much. I mean, you can kind of see as well, maybe this is one of the problems with it, that the flocking is fine from the front, but it looks like it's covered over everything on the back of the joints. So that probably was the thing that broke on the back of this, was that there was so much flocking over top of the joint. It just built up there that when I went to bend it, there was nothing really that would allow me to bend, and it just snapped off. Did I cry? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. But yeah, unfortunately, though, the leg just snapped off completely. I had to glue it back in place. I mean, it's not necessarily, I mean, it's broken from the standpoint that I can't do anything with this leg. But if really my only idea is just to have this guy standing on the shelf, a broken knee is going to bother me very little, other than I was maybe cutting onions just a little bit when it first broke. Oh, no. The thing I really like also about this figure is that he's got these big, giant feet. It kind of looks like he's got like dog feet. Now, unfortunately, though, being that they've also added the flocking on the bottoms of them, it means, though, that he doesn't have as much of a footing because it does kind of give him a little bit more padding. Now, he stands okay. I've noticed, though, one of the issues, though, with the Krampus is that, yeah, you can probably already see it for yourself. He's got really loose ankles. Both of these ankles. This one actually is the worst of the two. Of all the places that you would want to have a little bit more stability is obviously in the ankles of a character. And unfortunately, though, with my Krampus, this ankle's not so bad, even though I broke the knee on this side of the leg. But this ankle right here is just way too loose. Look at it. Just a look at the way that this is flopping about. Now, for the figure's articulation, going back, though, to the Krampus's head, the head's going to be on just a standard swivel. That's all you're going to get. It allows at least the head to rotate all the way around, but you're not going to be able to move it up and down much of all. When you're looking, though, at his body, normally you'd be able to kind of move the body around, and it looks like you can move it a bit, but you can't move it up the top here. You're kind of moving it more down below here in the waist. Is it a ball joint? It seems to be a ball joint. So, again, you can rotate the torso all the way around. Again, the arms do come out. Again, I really stress this. Look really to where those joints are on these figures. Even though I couldn't really see the sleeves, I can't even really roll them up all that much. You really want to kind of make sure, gauge first where those joints are, because the last thing you'd really want to do is have this break. I think the joint down here, I think it's right here, where I can bend it just a little bit. But it's telling me right now, don't bend it any more than you're doing right now, because the same thing that happened here is the same thing that's going to happen here. Hands do, again, rotate back and forth. That's about all you're really going to be getting. It looks like he's just got these big furry oven mitts. Kind of cool. I think that's really neat, the fact that they flocked so much of this figure. Legs do split out. They're a little, again, on the tight side. There's so much flocking everywhere on this guy. At least, unfortunately, it didn't, limit anything at all for his ankles or for the tops of his thighs. But I just wish it wasn't the case with his knees. Again, this knee bends fine, but this knee had so much buildup on the back that had I just looked at the back of the figure's leg, I probably could have looked at it and said, hey, well, wait a minute. This hinge is okay. This hinge is telling me don't move any further. And, of course, I had to move further. Broke right off. Of course, you got your ankle pivot back and forth. That's really all you're going to be getting with the figure. And, of course, there's no pegals on the bottoms of his feet. Cool-looking Krampus. Cool-looking Krampus. I wish he stood certainly a lot better than what he does. And, man, it's a bit of a bummer that his leg had to snap. But, I mean, again, just gluing it back in place, I don't see any bit of the breakage. I mean, obviously, I know that there's breakage behind the figure, but it's going to be a nice one that I'm going to be putting on display. Is he more the traditional Krampus I think everybody knows now with the recent movie of Krampus? No. This is kind of more like dating back to the original lore of Krampus, so he's kind of more like a furry demon. And I think one of the nicest touches, as I bring in the other figures we've already looked at from MEGO, I think one of the coolest touches is the fact that they put in so much flocking. It didn't also mean either that the figure was a little bit more expensive than the other two that we've already had a look at. I think as far as I remember, Krampus was just the same price as both Clark Griswold and the Creep. So again, if you're looking to get yourself some Christmas collectibles, something you can put on the mantle at least for December, MEGO's got some pretty cool, pretty fun offerings. Just again, be careful of the knees, whatever you do for Krampus here. Speaking of being naughty, one naughty idea that did pop in my head is I was wondering if I took the jacket off of Krampus here, not only could I use it for Clark Griswold, but I was also thinking the material was so good by MEGO, I could perhaps maybe use it for the retro cloth Ricky Caldwell, because that's the type of jacket that he wears in the second film. Unfortunately, that will mean probably I'll have to either strip down the Krampus here or maybe just even buy another one. But the material, though, is one of the two things I really like about this figure. The second one being the flocking. This flocking, unfortunately, does suffer in some of the areas of the figure, especially on the backs of the knees for one of my legs, because unfortunately the leg did snap when I was trying to get it to bend. One thing also, I don't know if it's one of the things that's causing this guy so much conflict when it comes to him standing, but I couldn't help but notice, his ankles just suck. Getting this Krampus even just to stand as long as he's standing right now seems to just be a Christmas miracle, because half the time, this is the second time, in fact, I've been trying to wrap up the review of this figure, and Krampus has fallen every single time. The head sculpt is good if you like the classic look for Krampus. Yeah, he's a good-looking release. He just has a few problems, and I think a lot of those problems stem from the fact that he has so much flocking on him. What do you guys think of the Krampus? Let me know down below in the comment section. Probably not the Krampus that you guys were expecting. I know when you looked at the title, you thought, oh, right, yes, he's looking at the neck of Krampus. No, I will be looking at the neck of Krampus shortly. In the meantime, though, if you guys did enjoy this video, do it a solid. Throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more so? Hope so. Hit that subscribe. Turn on that bell. But, of course, the most important thing is that you're coming back. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.